Let's take a couple minutes and talk about sod. In this case, specifically Discovery Bermuda sod. The success of your sod installation project is going to depend on a couple of things. First and foremost, the prep, how you prepare the yard, how you amend the soil, how you loosen the earth, what you do with the existing weeds. Do you spray them? Do you kill them? Do you get rid of them? Do you scrape them off? Secondly, though, and what we're going to talk about now, is the quality of the sod product itself. In this case, I'm using Discovery Bermuda sod. Discovery Bermuda is an incredibly shade-tolerant sod. It requires about 3 hours of sunlight a day. There are 504 square feet that come on this pallet. Pallets sometimes can come, typically it's 504 square feet. You can get them in rolls. You can get them at 450 square feet per pallet. So you want to know the quantity per pallet. That's one question to ask. So if someone's coming in and bidding your house, they're not, one guy's not saying, well, you need 8 pallets, and the other guy says you need 10 pallets, because if one is sourcing it from a certain farm that sells it at 450 square feet per pallet versus 504s, of course you might need 10 and 8. They might be still talking about the same quantity. So break it all down per square foot and find out how many square feet of lawn are we looking at installing, and make sure you account for a waste factor. So in this case, we're talking about Discovery Bermuda sod. This sod just arrived on our job site, and there's a few things that I want to point out to you. You're probably looking at the top and saying, well, I see some green, I see some brown, some other colors in it. This is just now coming out of dormancy. So this sod is not going to show up and be bright green everywhere. In about another 2 or 3 weeks, the sod will be completely green. But being that we're just at the beginning of the spring season, some of this sod is still coming out of dormancy. But what we're really looking for has nothing to do with what you see on the top of the sod, and everything to do with the sod itself and the bottom side of it. So let's take a piece and let's flip it over. And this is what I want to show you. When sod shows up on your project, this is what you want to look for. These little tiny white legs or rhizomes or fibers that are about to bite into your soil. This is your root. This is what you are concerned when you see these nice white roots. And if you can get real close in here, you see these nice, real small white baby roots. That's the first thing that you're looking for. If you see those, you know that you're likely dealing with a very healthy product. The next thing is what we'll call the one-arm test. It's where you take a piece of sod like this, you do a couple shoulder lifts with it, and if you ever notice sod that is bad going in on a job site, what's going to happen is I'm going to lift this, and that sod is just going to fall apart and shred. And you'll see it happening on other job sites, where a lot of times on commercial job sites. That is what we call cheap sod. And that means somebody didn't spend a whole lot of money on that sod and sourced it from a farm that just doesn't really care. It's just sort of a warehouse for sod. And what we've done, and this is why you're going to pay a little bit more for product that we install, is because in this pallet, my goal is to be able to use just about every single piece. Now, sure, from time to time, you're going to get a piece that's not very good. You look at it, it's kind of a bad piece, you throw it away. But I want as close to zero as possible. If I go out and buy garbage sod, cheap sod, and I save $30 a pallet, there's a good chance I'm going to end up throwing away maybe 10 or 20 pieces. Or worst case, I'm not going to throw it away, and I'm going to put it on your yard just for the sake of using it all. Now you've got a cheap project, and you looked at the bids, and you said, well, this guy was the lower bid, and he came in, and he did it all. But you have bad sod on it. So with me, you're going to probably pay a little bit more, but I'm going to be able to use every single piece. I'm going to have that certainty, that feeling, because what I'm depending on my supplier for is that great sod shows up on my project, so great sod gets installed at your house. So whether you're a contractor or a consumer, make sure that your sod looks good when it shows up, you're sourcing it from a reputable supplier, you're using the correct species. In this case, it's a shade-tolerant sod going in a very shady area, so you can set yourself up to be successful from the beginning. And then when you look at a job like this, we have 6 pallets out here. Let's say you ended up paying $30 or $40 more a pallet. We're talking a couple $100s to ensure the success of your project. So best of luck with your sod, and have a great day.